In today's video, we will be discussing the 10 countries with the strongest currencies in Africa. Africa is not renowned for its technical advances or high quality of life, but rather for its poverty and deeply ingrained corruption, thus, not expected that it would boast the strongest currencies in the world. Nevertheless, several legal tenders on the dark continent command respect on the foreign currency market, hence, this list of the highest currencies in Africa. The lowest currency in Africa, the Sierra Leonean leone, is one of the world's lowest, which typifies the economical disaster plaguing the continent. There are dozens of African currencies that are higher than the Nigerian naira, despite the fact that Nigeria has the continent's largest economy and the highest nominal GDP, which is an influencing factor in currency evaluation. Number 10, the Egyptian pound. The official money of the Arab Republic of Egypt is the Egyptian pound, EGP, which is represented by the symbol E-pound and is the 10th highest currency in Africa. The Central Bank of Egypt began a regulated float in 2001 with initial backing from precious metals and transitioned to a float in 2016. $1 was worth 8.8 Egyptian pounds before the float. $1 was equivalent to roughly 15 Egyptian pounds after docking. The EGP is one of the most valuable currencies in Africa due to its use as an unrecognized currency in places like Sudan and the Gaza Strip. Number 9, South African Rand. The official currency of South Africa is the South African Rand, which ranks 10th among all currencies in Africa. The Rand was introduced in February 1961 and enjoyed a comparatively stable exchange rate with the US dollar until the end of apartheid. Since then, as South Africa's economy has become more intertwined with the world economy, its value has declined. It can only help the South African Rand standing as one of the strongest currencies in Africa because several countries in the region, notably Lesotho, Namibia, and Swaziland, peg their currencies to it. In essence, the value of the ZAR is influenced by the cost of gold, which, in South Africa's early years, was its main export. However, because of South Africa's fragile economy and unsteady political environment, the Rand continues to be vulnerable to global uncertainty. Number 8, Zambian Kwacha. The 8th highest currency in Africa on our ranking list is the Zambian Kwacha, ZMW, which is the country's official unit of account and is issued by the Bank of Zambia. ZMW is accepted as legal tender for all transactions. Since it is prone to inflation and tends to be a highly unstable currency, offering little reward to those interested in currency trading, it is not widely traded by currency speculators. Zambia produces the most copper in Africa, hence its currency is subject to volatile behavior dependent on changes in the price of commodities on the world copper market. Number 7, Eritrean Nakfa. The Nakfa NFK, the official legal money of Eritrea, is one of the most expensive currencies in the continent. Due to the government's preference for a fixed exchange rate rather a floating currency, it has maintained stability over the year. Number 6, Seychelles Rupee. Due to the market economy of the nation, the Seychelles Rupee, senior, is one of the most valuable currencies in Africa. A resurgence in the economy as well as expansion in the agricultural, fishing, and small-scale manufacturing sectors have been sparked by foreign investment. The Seychelles' gross domestic output has become more diverse as a result, ranking the rupee as the 6th highest currency in Africa. The senior is one of the most valuable currencies in Africa due to the fact that it has the greatest GDP per capita on the continent. The smallest country with a free monetary system is the Seychelles. Number 5, Botswana Pula. The national currency of Botswana is the Pula BWP, which ranks 6th among all currencies in Africa. It has been in use since 1976, 11 years after gaining independence from the UK. With a Pula equaling 8 United States cents, the BWP remains one of the most valuable currencies in Africa despite its fall in 2005. The most common language in the country, Setswana, has a word for rain called Pula. Its core concept and expression are seen as a gift, as evidenced by the fact that there is little precipitation over the vast portion of the country's surface. The BWP has managed to maintain its position as one of the highest currencies in Africa because to the nation's strong economy and generally secure democracy. Being traded on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, the biggest stock market in Africa, makes it a desirable currency as well. Number 4. Moroccan Dirham. The predominant form of legal money in Morocco is the dirham (MAD), which ranks as the continent's fourth highest currency. It is a non-tradable currency that is hardly ever affected by price fluctuations caused by banks and cannot be exchanged outside of the country. This money serves as the primary medium of exchange in the Western Sahara region. Although the MAD is still unregulated, its export is forbidden by law. Under Abdullah Ibrahim's leadership, it was put into effect on October 17, 1959, following the establishment of Bank al-Maghrib and the discontinuation of the Moroccan franc, which had been in use since 1921. The MAD has long been one of Africa's most valuable currencies. Number 3. Ghanaian cedi. The Ghana cedi (GHS) is the third largest currency in Africa, the highest currency in West Africa, and the Republic of Ghana's fourth highest historical legal tender. In 2007, the GHS replaced the GHC after several years of devaluation driven by inflation. The GHS had the best performance of any currency in the world in 2020 when compared to the dollar, according to a Bloomberg study. One of the highest in Africa, according to the U.S. agency, was Ghana's currency, which surged by 3.9%, the most among the more than 140 currencies it was tracking. Number 2. Libyan Dinar. The second highest currency in Africa is the Libyan Dinar. When Muammar Gaddafi overthrew King Idris in a coup in 1971, the Libyan pound was replaced by the lid, which was issued with the same value. The currency, which is divided into 1,000 dirhams for each dinar, is produced, issued, and controlled by the Central Bank of Libya. The lid has gradually declined in value over time when compared to other currencies like the US dollar, British pound, and euro, but still being one of the highest in Africa. The continuous loss in value can be attributed to a number of factors, the most important of which being the drop in oil prices on global markets. Since oil sales are Libya's main source of foreign currency, the dinar has suffered as a result of the drop in oil prices. Number 1. Tunisian Dinar. The 1958 introduced Tunisian Dinar (TND), which converts to 3.13 dinars to the dollar, is the most expensive currency in Africa. The Tunisian franc, which was in use at the time, was introduced 2 years after Tunisia gained its independence from France. The TND was tied to the USD after the franc's fall at a rate of 0.42 dinars to $1, which was in effect until 1971. The TND has become the most valuable currency in Africa in part because of its historically low inflation rate. Its volatility between 2000 and 2010 was lower than that of Egypt and Morocco, two nearby oil-based economies. Importing, exporting, or changing dinars into other currencies is now forbidden by the government. Now you know the 10 African countries with strongest currencies. Please like, share and subscribe our channel for more curiosity videos. Thank you for watching.